So Hollie, 2024, it's a bit mental. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of live events. We've got the Euros, and it's coming home, by the way.
Oh.
We've got the Olympics.
Yep.
We've got the general elections for both America and the UK.
There's going to be so much content on, they're not going to know what to watch. People now, their day isn't made up because something's on TV. So you don't think, oh, at 1:45 there's a Chelsea-Arsenal game, so I need to be back for that. You know that it's going to be shown somewhere where you are.
Related to remote production then, what do you think about AI-assisted cameras?
Oh, interesting.
There's so many live events, there's so much coverage that we need to do. How are broadcasters going to handle all of that?
So yeah, we have the Euros, the Olympics, the elections, as well as managing our day-to-day ad hoc events as well. So everything else that goes on in addition to these big events. And everything everyone loves watching as well. So it's going to be a really good year and a very exciting time for broadcasting as well, I think. But I think with the boost and more events going on, there is going to be some challenges.
And we're going to explore those challenges, I hope.
Yes. So I think broadcasters are probably going to have to deploy some advanced technologies. So I think it's going to be more cloud-based production, remote workflows as well to handle the volume of all of these events.
And also in the following year, in 2025, Sky Sports is now showing all the 3 o'clock games as well. So I think there's like at least another 100 matches or so.
Yeah, there is.
And then you have the Club FIFA World Cup too. What kind of impact do you think this will have for different organisations and viewers?
I think consumers are going to be very torn on what to watch. There's going to be so much content on, they're not going to know what to watch. And I mean, everyone does the whole thing when they put on Netflix and they think, I don't know what to watch. So yeah, I think broadcasters are going to have to put ways and means in place to kind of combat that. And I don't know whether it's being more interactive with the consumer, like we saw the likes of Amazon Prime a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was like a Wolves-Burnley game. Put in the substitution like bugs at the top, and I was having a look on social media and the reaction for that from consumers was really positive. They were calling for it to be put on all games. It's just such simple little things that can improve the game a lot more and make them kind of more drawn to it, make them watch it longer rather than switching over from watching the football to going to watch the Olympics. Yeah. So yeah, I think obviously consumers have their ways and means. They know what sports they like and they are going to watch that sport because they like it. But drawing them to it versus watching something else, I think, is going to be interesting. So ways and means of getting eyeballs.
So we're competing for eyeballs, okay?
Yeah.
As a broadcaster, why should I invest in advanced technologies that when there's no guarantee that those viewers are going to come in to watch that content because we're competing so much for eyeballs? Yeah. So why should I invest in more technology then?
I think same as before, if you enhance your viewer experience, you enhance your chance of viewers and the viewer participation. So I think in 2024, a lot of Gen Z don't just watch linear TV solely. They're watching TV and they'll have a phone in their hand. They'll be watching the highlights, the reels, the feedback online about the goal that had just happened 5 seconds ago on linear TV. And it's true, everyone loves short form content. And Gen Z appreciate that kind of content a lot more because it gives instant gratification. And I think investing in things like that, so advanced technologies, as a broadcaster, it can put you in the front when you kind of have quite a big competitive landscape, and offer success as well. So the more likely you're to stand out in a saturated market, so setting your broadcast apart is so important.
Too much content, too much choice.
Too much choice, spoilt for choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, setting your content apart is going to be really important this year. And I don't know, I think things like AR and VR as well are really interesting.
You do?
I think a lot of people would like to see that potentially in their broadcast, within watching TV.
In what way? What specifically?
Like, I know there are some apps where you can put on a headset and like be in the stadium and get that real experience of the stadium, the atmosphere and things. So bringing it to life a lot more than just sitting and watching a flat screen TV.
Yeah, make it more immersive then.
Yeah, definitely making it more immersive. Okay. So I think the benefit would be from like driving your money into these advanced technologies that you can improve your resource utilization as well. There's only so much resource and so many engineers and people you have on site. And with more events, that splits them out even more and splits them regionally and geographically as well.
Yeah.
So I think this can improve the utilization as well.
I think if you spread yourself too thin,
that's when error comes.
Then that's when not only the error comes in the broadcast delivery, but also the quality goes down, right?
Yeah, and quality is the most important thing as well. So people are going to realise if your quality drops. Also, I think with consumers consuming a lot of content, and like I kind of said about Gen Z, sitting in front of a linear TV with a device in their hand, I think multi-platform distribution is really important as well. And some of the benefits of that is, obviously it's great, you can watch it on the go, you can watch it on the train, like wherever you want, sometimes when you're having dinner. With your family, you can watch it. No, I don't. But I have seen people in restaurants do that.
In restaurants?
Yeah, like in really nice restaurants.
What is wrong with people?
I know. It's quite upsetting, but they're that passionate about the content and they get to watch it in the restaurant on their devices, so why wouldn't they? But yeah, I think...
For human connection.
Yeah, to make the most of the time. But yeah, multi-platform distribution and it allows you to reach diverse audiences as well. So people that might not have a TV at home, they're not going to watch it, but they can watch it on their phone now. So yeah, diverse audiences that consume content outside of your typical living room, on the go, smartphone, tablets. Yeah, it's just so much more accessibility. And I think the funny thing is as well, it's actually quite nice to sit and watch something on the TV and then watch something else on your phone. Like switch between the two, which you wouldn't be able to do a good few years ago. So, yeah.
As much as that frustrates me, as someone who, when I watch something, I like to be totally immersed.
Really?
I'm very much into not only what's going on screen, but like, oh, that was a good camera shot. Oh, I like the cinematography on that. I'm like super immersed in every single shot, and I want it on a big screen. But that's just me. There is a new generation of people out there. I feel like I'm old here, just preaching about the traditional ways of doing it. It's like, you can't stop looking at your phone. Turn it off.
Stop looking at your phone at the dinner
Lights
table.
off. I want you to pay 100% attention.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. Like, people now, their day isn't made up because something that's on TV. So you don't think, at 1:45 there's a Chelsea-Arsenal game, so I need to be back for that. You know that it's going to be shown somewhere where you are. You know, you can watch it on your phone. You know, you can record it on the TV and watch it if you really don't care about the live goals. You know, you can watch it at home. You can log on to Instagram and see the live score updates. You can go on all the different apps they have. See,
I would agree with that to one point.
Yeah.
Which is, 6 o'clock The Simpsons was always on. And I remember coming home from school and then that's when I watched The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Just before dinner as well. Live sports, though. When that Chelsea and Arsenal game is on, do people really not care about the live goals?
I think people... I think maybe that's one thing as well. Yeah, people want to see it live because their friends might be talking about it in a group chat and it's going to ruin it. So maybe that actually draws the viewer to watch it live, linear, because they don't want to miss out. They know that there's a goal. And if you're watching it on demand and things, it's like you're not getting the real-time experience. So yeah, I think that is where live is really important. So if you are on the go, you can consume non-live content, because I think live content, it's always nicer to watch it live. watching it on demand or watching it on the go, you don't get the full effect, and you can kind of be let behind if you see an alert come through saying there's been a goal, or someone in a group chat's given spoilers that it's a goal. But I think non-live content, people love consuming anywhere. Like I sit on the train sometimes and I'll see people watching different series and things. I think the first thing that comes to people's mind when they go on holiday, or maybe not the first thing, is when they're in the airport, have I downloaded a film to watch on the plane? Because people love consuming content, and the fact that they can download it offline and watch that on the go. So when it comes to broadcasting, large events, small events, medium events, any event, I'd say broadcasting isn't one size fits all. Every broadcast is different, whether it be the rugby, football, the boat race. That's nothing like football. They're completely different, and you need to have connectivity solutions to fit that specific requirement. Different technologies in media and broadcast that we have deployed and that we've seen across the industry is a few. First one I'd say is cloud-based production. So we took part in the IBC Accelerator in 2023. We took part the year before as well, in 2022, and that was the 5G in the middle of nowhere project. But this year we kind of built on that project a little bit and was a champion in a new one called Connect and Produce Anywhere. So essentially it was like a test bed environment to provide hands-on experience with running live production applications on different software platforms. So very interesting. It's currently, as we speak, hosted at TechX's site in Bracknell. It was architectured and deployed as edge compute for a live production event. It was cool. The innovation was kind of a creation of flexible, tailored production software architecture that can adjust between the edge and the cloud computing to best fit kind of constraints in a production. The team managed to demonstrate a simple live production workflow in the test environment with NDI sources, vision mix, graphics, audio mix, and then streamed from Bracknell to the stand in Amsterdam. And then visitors could kind of operate and view the mixer remotely. It was very cool, and they're planning to extend the existing test environment to provide some capabilities that weren't shown at IBC. So I know it was an IBC Accelerator, but they're still continuing, and we're still continuing to input and work on it now, and potentially support higher end use cases like UHD production. So
what's the value of that then?
So
for the broadcaster?
You're separating the hardware and the software. So it kind of means that you don't have to move the hardware round different productions. So I think it's quite nice as well, because if you think about a live event, when you turn up to the event, you turn up with big, heavy metal hardware, and you don't have to do as much of that, which is great for the environment.
And our backs.
And and our backs, and carrying it and putting it onto the trucks and getting it to the event. I thought that was really cool, using software and hardware. I like that. So it was a good project, very interesting, and nice that we're carrying it on as well, because this is kind of futuristic.
The future is now.
We've been innovating a lot this year, and this one is particularly exciting for me. So probably the most recognised innovation within TVOB at the moment, and off the back of IBC 2023, was the wireless and IP low Earth orbit satellite demo that we've done. And if you do want to, I feel like I'm facing the camera now, if you do want to hear more about it, go to our website, read our paper on it. It's really interesting. Check out our socials.
www.mediumbroadcast.bt.com.
Yes.
But finish this first.
I feel like I've just plugged a white paper. Love it. Go and read it. It's really cool. So yeah, you can get into the kind of the details if you really want there. But essentially what it was we worked with the BBC, R&D, Neutral Wireless and Zixi, and the demo showed what's possible with the latest wireless IP and LEO technology. So we used OneWeb in this, and we used Starlink. OneWeb being our kind of strategic LEO partnership that BT have. BT have a partnership with OneWeb. We used that. The images went through our internet gateway in London and then via our intelligent media platform, all while kind of simplifying the production and giving you more control over your broadcasts. So yeah, we're really proud that it managed to get Best in Show in TVB Europe category. So that was really exciting. And I do really think this is the start of an exciting journey with LEOs. And now it's time to test and optimise them a lot more this year, definitely. LEO can potentially provide a lot low latency and higher throughput. So LEOs are at like 1,000 kilometres from the Earth's orbit. Obviously, if it's closer to the orbit, that's a lot better latency for us, more reliable, more exciting, more innovative than our geostationary that we have at the moment. So it's kind of like one step closer in our journey. I feel like
and 5G.
And 5G. In this demonstration, we showed an entirely wireless IP end-to-end system. So basically simplifying the camera connection to one radio link, shrinking the satellite. So obviously it's a LEO, not a geostationary. It was a lot smaller. It could even be put on like a roof of a car.
Is that like you're having wireless camera technology and you're still being able to link
using
that to a very small satellite terminal?
Yeah. So you
can carry it around?
Well, yeah, if you're strong. But yeah, you can transport it a lot easier. So I think it's quite nice because it depends on different use cases, but you don't have the restrictions there. You can turn up to very remote, hard to reach areas with the LEO, and do satellite backhaul from there.
What kind of restrictions?
Well, you don't have it on a truck, so you can take it, like mount it off things, put it in a car, drive to different places with it. It can be operated without the assistance of the engineer as well. Quick and reactive, and need a solution that can be there and then within hours. So you might have heard on our socials that we recently collaborated with LiveView to embed their capabilities into our network and combine elements. We combined elements within LiveView to provide remote locations to be able to transmit video over cellular and IP networks. So yeah, all essentially that is we can receive those feeds and pass that onto the facility line switch, and then alternatively bring it back to our intelligent media platform, Vena, and then we'll be able to hand those signals off to the customer. And then so ultimately a bit of an extension for our portfolio, and then we're kind of trying to bring flexible and cost-effective ways for people to deliver content in outside broadcasting into our network. That's another way to do that. You can find out a lot more on our website and things if you are interested in using LiveView. And it's basically a low-cost and an efficient solution for when you need like a very short-term solution. So I'll give you an example that we'd done a few weeks ago when we used LiveView and we saw the UK hold its world first AI safety summit apparently, and they discussed like risks to public safety and how they might be mitigated.
And what's the integration with medium broadcast?
When you bring those feeds into BT Tower, you can pass it to the facility line switch, or alternatively, if you want to, you can bring it to Vena.
What is Vena?
Vena is our intelligent media platform and network. Yeah, like I said, the AI summit, you're only sending a live view, but for things like huge events, like historic events, so we had the King's Coronation last year, that's going to be a much bigger effort to deliver such a worldwide event. So in this one, in the King's Coronation example, we used pretty much all of our offerings in one. So we've used fibre, satellite, microwave, versus the AI Summit, we only needed to send a LiveView deployment.
So now that we're out of the height of the pandemic, reality has dawned that remote production maybe isn't suitable for everything. Where do you think it actually has its place? Was it overhyped? Does it really save money? Is it what people want, or are we just going back to normal now? Yeah. And I realise I've just asked you 5 questions in one go. So we'll take the first one. Where do you think it has its place?
Yeah, so is remote production here to stay? I would say yes, personally. When the world come to a halt in 2020, we could sort of look at remote production solutions to meet the demands for the viewers, for the content for when they were stuck at home. And I don't think remote production would have excelled as much if it wasn't for COVID. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with that. I think in many ways, the pandemic accelerated it, created a move towards it. But I do think there is a bit of an assumption that it's only here to stay for a short period of time. That it was only going to stay for COVID and maybe afterwards when everyone was trying to get back to normal. But then I think that turned into 2 years. Now what are we at? We're at 4 years now and it's still here. So I think people have realised that it is an alternative way to pre-COVID and that you can also save money using this method as well.
What do you think about some of the unique situations where we talked about resource being spread too thin.
Yeah.
So you're reducing on travel costs and things like that. How does that relate to the extensive coverage? Is there a specific point you can make there where, because you're not travelling, you're able to actually provide talent or engineers, or is there a point there between a correlation between travel and?
Yeah, I think so. Remote production has its place on a case-by-case basis, and I think in quick turnaround requirements you can eliminate, like you said, travel time, logistics, coordinating crews as well, whether the requirement is in a remote location. And I think as well, it could kind of be like an accessibility thing as well. So if you've got people with specific accessibility needs and you love that they've got great talent in production, they can work on production from remote operating centres when usually they wouldn't be able to go into the field. Mm-hmm. So you're diversifying your talent in production. Related
to remote production then, what do you think about AI-assisted cameras?
Oh, interesting. Okay, AI-powered cameras are very popular.
Yeah.
And I think especially in remote production scenarios, so they offer really good features and capabilities to improve the production process. But I do have some views on this, some good ones, and some.
Do we have a controversial opinion?
No, I think I question when you implement AI cameras. I think you also need to think about the production workflow. So you're going to have so much more bandwidth.
Right.
And the security of it as well is going to be so important, and you have to integrate it with your other production tools as well. Security wise, you've got quite a big risk there of piracy, I think.
Okay.
So I think putting in measures to stop that is important.
How come?
I think AI. There was one thing I was thinking of the other day, and I do kind of worry about when we've seen the things of what happened recently with the Luton player and Ericsson, when footballers they do collapse and they're in a life-threatening situation. There are Ofcom rules and regulations that say that you mustn't show, there are broadcasting rules that are imposed by Ofcom, that you mustn't show any distressing or violation of kind of human dignity. So I was just kind of curious about if AI would know that, and would AI zoom in on that, because that's completely not right. Whereas if you had a camera lady or man behind you had a camera operator behind the camera, they would know automatically. And they would know the broadcasting rules. They would know to cut the vision, and just go to something else. go to the crowd. But
I guess in the same sense, it might be someone trains that camera operator to not show that thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So someone had to train them and tell them not to do that.
Yeah.
You would just tell the AI not to do that in the same
that's so true.
sense.
Yeah.
I think.
No,
but I guess what happens when it screws up?
Yeah.
Like you'd have a human accountability, or you would. But would you still have a director behind the scenes who's choosing the shots anyway?
Yeah, that's really true. So I think if an AI camera messed up, and I know obviously AI learns more and more as more happens, so because maybe this doesn't happen that much, it wouldn't know what to do in that situation. But like you said, if it's been trained, then you hope that it would know. But if you had a director in the production truck, you could easily just cut that. In
an episode that has not released yet, that I recorded in the past, we mentioned self-driving cars, where that's you still need someone actually taking control of the wheel manually. It's not legally safe to just completely let it go at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess there's still that human aspect. So you still need a director to really pull the plug on something.
Yeah, I think...
because you can't show that image.
If you had a production of, say, like 25 cameras and one of them was AI, then that would be a lot better than putting loads of AI cameras in. Like, we're just not in the era that we would do that at the moment. Maybe in like 5 years to come, but I think now, until we know the outcomes of what they might produce, and they've been tested, they've been demoed, I think we've seen some of the newer technologies, maybe not so much new now, but we've seen VAR. And I do think VAR decisions happen a lot long after the action has taken place, rather than in the moment, which is maybe why some of that is caused controversy.
I've got some thoughts on this.
Oh, go on.
Okay. For starters, I'm not... Right, let's just be clear. Right, for the next minute, as I'm going to go on this rant, I'm not Luke Hughes, the medium broadcast employee.
Yeah.
I'm Luke Hughes, the Arsenal fan.
Oh, okay.
Right, let me show you this. Okay.
Oh, you've got this up.
All right, what do you think of that? Tell me your thoughts.
Let me see.
It's on that frame.
Oh, but Luke, I'm not a good football person.
No, you just need to use your eyes.
Okay.
Like a VAR person would.
Still on the...
Is he on the line?
The guy behind the goal.
Or is he not on the line?
The guy behind the goal.
Yeah. Behind the goal, exactly.
Yeah,
behind the goal.
Well past. Like, you could fit another foot there.
Yeah, I agree. Right, that's conclusive evidence. Right, so what they said was there was no conclusive evidence that he wasn't on the line. Now, my Arsenal fan logic was there's conclusive evidence his leg is not on the line, so I think his leg is out. And if you can't see the ball because it's in front of his leg, but I think his leg is out of play, then surely the ball is also out of play.
That's true.
But the real thing that everyone can agree with is, why is there no conclusive evidence? Why is there not cameras in the right regions?
Yeah.
So you can actually get proper decisions from VAR quicker. Like, how many camera angles do you need? And why is this the only image we see? There's always someone to blame.
There's always
Take
someone to blame.
personal accountability, people.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really interesting technology, and it's brought the game to a new level. And yeah, who knows, it could be developed even further. But I think that noise that it creates online is just basically, in real life, people watching grassroots and shouting, "Ref, ref!" But now they're shouting VAR. So as much as people might complain about VAR decisions, I think that this type of technology is really engaging for the viewer and improving their overall viewer experience.
So every piece of content that's made, people want more views. If I think about diversity and inclusion, for example, we talk about, if you have a more diverse workforce, then you're going to create more diverse content that more people can enjoy and therefore increase viewership. Can the same logic then be also applied to accessibility, where if you're making your content more accessible to people, surely there's more views to be had there from those types of individuals that wouldn't have necessarily watched it.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you make a live broadcast more accessible, then you'll get like a bigger audience watching. So yeah, you can achieve greater accessibility in live broadcasts from like closed captions, audio descriptions, like customizable settings as well. And then by doing that, you're including accessibility into the broadcast as well. So yeah, if you implement those strategies, you can create a bigger audience, and then, like you said, you're aligning with diversity and opening up opportunities for content to be enjoyed by individuals with different preferences and abilities.
This year we've got the Euros and the Olympics, like we mentioned. In medium broadcast, we've traditionally been quite UK-centric, but these are very, global events. So how are we going to sail overseas here? What are the opportunities? What are the challenges? Like SWOT analysis, me.
But we have provided connectivity in Paris for the UEFA Champions League final in 2021 and 22. So we're not in unfamiliar ground, as the Olympics is in the same place this year. So that is going to have a lot of technical complexities.
What are typically the type of challenges? What do you expect to see, and what will be difficult, but we will get through it, obviously. But what would be the challenges you expect to see, and what do we have to do to ensure a successful Euros?
Yeah, so...
And it's coming home, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And then I think we address the challenges with careful planning, collaboration with local partners, leveraging some of the technologies I mentioned earlier. So yeah, some of the technological solutions that we'll plan, make sure that we've got a smooth overseas backhaul as well. There is going to be a lot more content on TV this year, with the fact that some broadcasters have secured rights to show more fixtures. That means more live coverage. I think it's going to increase by about 70% in the 2025-26 season. So yeah, pubs and clubs will now be able to broadcast 80% of matches at their venue. And yeah, I just generally think if more matches are going to be shown, like Premier League matches, it's basically going to expand broadcast coverage, and it's going to be really good for several stakeholders. I think viewers are going to be really excited. They're going to be able to support their teams more, and watch even more games as well.
I guess the argument there was they're not watching it in person because they're being covered now, right? But yeah. I always thought that's so outdated in the technology world, my own biased opinion.
I think there's the other thing as well, with more fan engagement, with more content being shown on TV, it opens the doors to more additional content. So like pre-match analysis, post-match analysis, there'll be a lot more of that that can be shown as well.
Right, so I'm an individual, Hollie, who works in the outside broadcast environment. Mm-hmm. I need to produce and distribute a live event, whether that's sports or news. What is the most important thing that I should be doing to make sure I deliver that event without any issues, but also make it engaging and successful for viewers?
I think make sure your reliable technology is reliable.
Reliable technology is reliable.
Yes.
Sometimes reliability and stability is all you need.
Yeah.
You just need it to be strong and stable. No, don't put that in.
Cut. So make sure your reliable technology is actually reliable. So conducting comprehensive assessments, identifying all of your upcoming live events, and then site surveying the scale, the complexity, the unique challenges that are associated with each one, and each type of production, the location, the expected audience size as well. How many eyeballs have you got watching this? How bad is it going to be if it goes down? And that can help you determine which technology you need to lean on for production. But as always, BT Media and Broadcast are here to provide media connectivity, and we can be the ones that can help the broadcasters or production companies or anyone's needs. We can basically allow you access to a range of connectivity options for each event. So if you want to do a hybrid model, you want to do remote production, you want to use LiveView, you want to use InSync or satellite, we can lean on that.